All right, so all I'm gonna say is thank God we're done with the ecology unit because I could not stretch that one any further. We were beating a dead horse at that point. I am glad to be starting the Sun, Earth, and Moon unit though. I'd like to think that this content's a lot more interesting to you guys, a lot more applicable to your everyday lives, and I think y'all are gonna really enjoy it. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, let me full screen this. Okay, we're going to start this unit by talking about the Earth's axis, okay, and why it's really significant to the way the Earth operates and why it's important to our lives. But first things first, I'm going to have you guys click on the link below. It's going to take you to a study jams page. There used to be a video there, but since then it's turned into slides, so I would like for you to review the slides, and then it's going to have a quick just check for understanding. It's going to say take test. I'm not giving you a test grade on this. It's just a quick check for understanding, like I said, and that should give you a foundation of where you're at as far as what you already know for this content. So I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to do that, and then we will move on with today's notes. It's going to be a 2-day lesson. Okay, so today is going to be part 1. Okay, so if you're starting at the top of your notes, then you should see where it starts with the Earth rotates. This is not on these slides. This is coming out of my mouth, so fill it in from there. The Earth rotates on what is called an axis. Okay, if you're looking at the diagram right here, you notice that the Earth's axis is actually an invisible line. Okay, you don't physically see this, if you look at satellite views of the Earth or anything like that. But it's an invisible line that basically runs straight from the North Pole, okay, from Santa Claus's house to the South Pole, right, with the penguins. Okay, and why that's important, what we'll find out tomorrow is that's the point on which, actually, sorry, not tomorrow, but in 2 days. That's the point on which the Earth rotates, okay, and that's a very significant concept. But one thing we are going to learn today, and one thing you do need to understand, is that this Earth's axis is actually the point, or basically the center line at which the axis actually tilts. Okay, so basically what happens throughout the year is the Earth's axis from the North Pole to the South Pole will move backwards and then tilt back forward again, go backwards, forward. Okay, that happens basically twice a year. It's an extremely significant concept, and it's fundamentally important that you understand that the Earth's axis does that. Okay, it currently typically tilts at a 23.5 degree angle. You don't necessarily need to know the degree of the angle. Okay, again, you just need to understand that the Earth's axis tilts forward and backward throughout the year. Okay. Another thing that I'm pretty confident y'all already understand is that the Earth generally is divided up into 2 main sections, a top half and a bottom half. We call those the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Okay, so the question I would pose to you is, if I can get to it, what's the name of that line that separates the northern hemisphere from the southern hemisphere? Okay, I already know that y'all know this. It's called the equator. Okay, it would be this line right here, and it runs through countries like Ecuador, for example, a lot of African countries, some other Central American or South American countries, and some Asian countries as well. So we already know that that's basically the waistline of the Earth. We know that it's really hot. We've talked about that in the weather unit. The climate there is extremely warm. The countries that border this area right here never experience a true winter season with cooler or colder temperatures, snow, things like that. It is hot year round. Okay. That's the end of today's notes. Like I said, this is part 1. Part 2 we're going to pick up tomorrow, and we're going to explain the effect on the Earth as the axis tilts throughout the year. So be sure you take your notes, put a little glue on them, paste them into your journals, and be sure you're updating your table of contents. I know it's been a long time since we've used our journals, okay, but we're really going to start getting back into it, and you guys are going to be putting a lot of stuff in there. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.